Hello everybody, and welcome to another video on Elite Filmmakers. This video is going to be 4K based, so make sure you subscribe to the channel for more video editing content. I'm just going to install an app called Video to Camera Photo, no video, I'm just going to install an app rather called Video to Photo, which, as the name suggests, generates photo from any video, so excuse the mix up there. It's done by a company called Void Developer. Void Developer, and is a very good app because if you are looking for some photos to add to a particular project but haven't actually taken photos on the camera yourself physically, then such apps can come in handy. And again, this app is also related to the video, this video rather, that I'm doing. But again, as always, I would explain that later on in the video. All I need to do is I need to type in my password, which you won't see. Exited form. Exited region. Loading. And the app is installing. Today's video is going to be about the pros and cons of 4K video, so that is what I'll be doing in this video. So first things first, so 4K is basically the video's resolution, which controls or decides how clear and good the video image quality is. There is also something called frame rates, and depending on the number of frames per second can either make the video choppy or a bit blurry. Now this depends on the type of scene that you are shooting. Now if you're taking fast moving videos, if you are on a motorway filming, particularly on a device which is not really sophisticated, such as a Nintendo 3DS, which, believe it or not, is very good at taking fast moving pictures, the frame rate is going to concern you, being as I said earlier, is not a sophisticated camera, because obviously Nintendo 3DS is not meant to be used as a camera, it's meant to be used as a gaming device. However, I have utilized it as a camera due to many benefits and advantages which I won't go into on the video. But what I want to say is, for such devices which are not meant for things of this nature, the frame rate is likely going to be 24 frames per second. Now, 9 times out of 10, this frame rate is very good for, your most common videoing scenes, such as when you're walking and people are walking past, that's fine. But when you are taking fast moving pictures, you need to increase the frame rate so the video runs smoothly and isn't choppy. But the main thing I want to focus on this video is the resolution. Now, resolutions and cameras have come a long way since the early days, and in the ancient days, or depending on how far you want to go back, you used to have 360p, which is PHD. Then you had the 720, and then we slowly worked up to full HD, which is 1080p. There is, however, HD, which I think is HD ready looking back, which is it 1366 x 768, but that is called HD ready. Now you can get full HD, which is 1920 by 1080. I'm not too sure why they have full HD or HD. I think it's a little bit silly, and it's probably sound the same thing, but anyway, that's the way they have it. However, lately we've seen a lot of 4K equipment on the market, and these include cameras such as camcorders, and they have the ability to shoot 4K videos, and even drones, because I've been talking to a few friends on an app called Zello, which is a two-way radio app which connects people from different parts of the world together. And a few of them use drones. One of them is the DJI Mavic Pro, which actually shoots 4K video. And again, actually, let me play you a 4K video so you can actually see how clear 4K videos are. 20.24. Opening file. Actually, before I continue playing the video, let me sort of finish the conversation. Let me sort of finish the point off first. A few friends use the DJI Mavic Pro, which shoots in 4K and actually films in 4K. And you do get a lot of camcorders, as I said, that are 4K, and a lot of budget cameras which are also 4K. And I do aim to get a 4K camera later on in the year, because I do plan to become a filmmaker later on in the future. I'm going to play you a 4K video, and I'll explain why the video is in 4K, because I haven't actually got any 4K equipment at the moment. But again, I'll explain that later on in the video. But in the meantime, let us play this video. I'm not too sure how the screen recorder is picking this up, but you can see how clear the 4K is, and it's definitely noticeable from my point of view. Okay then, so let us talk about some of the cons of 4K, because although they may seem small, it can be very major and detrimental, and actually they can really put you off such 4K equipment and cameras. So anyway, let's get started. So 4K files are very large, and so even though you get the stunning resolution which brings you all the wows and all the kicks, the file sizes can really be large, and a small file can probably be around about 70 megabytes. And again, depending on how you are with technology, it either seems big or it either seems small. May seem small to IT geeks, but if you are filming for long periods, that 70 megabyte file, which is small, well, you can well imagine how long and how big a video of a long duration would be. So probably a 10-minute video or 12-minute video, depending on, and again, it's to do, don't forget the frames per second. You have all that going on, and the resolution, and you have the scenes going on, and that can probably be at least a gigabyte. So 4K files are very large. Because of this, it can either make the file unhandleable, which is actually why I installed the video to photo app. Now, some people would easily either do two things. Probably the obvious thing to some people would be to delete the large files, but obviously, it's files, it's videos that you've actually gone out and filmed, and the last thing you want to do is to lose a video due to a 4K file becoming unhandleable due to the duration that you filmed it on. If you do want to, however, film long periods, I would advise you to break it up into clips rather than filming one singular clip if you have a 4K camera, because that way you don't have to move one file, which could be up to, I don't know, 12 gigabytes, which again is a lot of storage. So filming it in long clips can give you the same duration, but decrease rather the size of files, making them more handleable. However, if you haven't filmed in clips, then one of the solutions to do is to install a video to photo app, which you saw me do earlier. It uses the video's resolution, so value of the video is not lost, and you can actually decide the time intervals that you want photos to be generated from. So you can either choose to generate photos from the video every 2 seconds, which, if a video is fairly long, will produce you more than plenty photos. So again, that is a very handy and easy but rare solution to handle your files. The reason why I say rare is I don't think many people know of video to photo apps. Video to photo apps are handy, as I said earlier, if you've gone a bit overzealous with video and have forgotten to take some photos. Whether 4K cameras these days, and I'm not too sure whether it applies to camcorders in general or whether it's just the 4K, actually have the ability to take photos while you are videoing. So again, you don't have to cut the video just to take a photo and then resume filming again, because that can be very annoying if you have clips that keep cutting out. So again, those are how you can eliminate large file sizes. Another con is to do with video editing with 4Ks. Now that's probably to do with the resolution as well, because most video editors will probably support up to full HD, and 4K, is probably a little bit too overzealous for the video editor, and that's probably because of the 4K's file size as well. Now, some video editors, however, such as Wise Video, actually have the ability to actually produce 4K videos, but video editors such as Androvid really do have a hard time splicing together multiple 4K video clips to make a 4K project. And again, that's to do with file size again. So again, if you want a 4K camera, then please bear those things into account. If you really want to make a project out of 4K videos, you can either choose to do the video to photo method as said above, or you can use a compression app too. One of them is called Video Panda Compress and Share. However, I will strongly advise you to use such apps on a Chromebook like my Asus C434, which is fairly fast, and that is because phones with their processors and all the hardware are not as fast as Chromebooks, meaning that multiple videos can take over a day to compress when on a Chromebook takes a few hours. Now, what I like to do is when I'm compressing my files, I like to click on the lowest resolution because it's actually quicker to compress, and then you can, after the compression, use the video clips to make your project.
23.
Another thing to do, another downside to 4K is video playback. Now, I've noticed on my Chromebook that even when I've done a 4K conversion, because even though I haven't got a 4K camera or any 4K equipment, I've actually managed to do a 4K conversion on some of my photography clips taken on my Nintendo 3DS. Now, the Nintendo 3DS actually has a very low resolution of 480 x 240, which is very low. The videos, despite the low resolution, are very clear, but I still like my 4K despite the problems I know of above. But anyway, some video players will actually struggle to play such 4K files, and I've noticed that my Chromebook can sometimes behave a little bit choppy, particularly if, again, there's a lot of activity going on in the scenes, such as sound, because, again, when you're videoing on the camera has to process that, and and vice versa. But if you have a lot of scenes going on, such as sound and what have you, the Chromebook is going to be very choppy. Even worse, however, is video playback on tablets, because I've got a Huawei T510 and I've noticed that it won't play 4K files. Now, you can play 4K files, however, by installing a third party video player such as VLC Media Player. But again, that is something to take into consideration should you want to play 4K files and edit them. One last thing that I would like to go over, and it's not necessarily to do with the files themselves, it's more to do with the camera, but I would mention it anyway, is that 4K cameras have a very short battery life. Now, the budget cameras, especially, I'm not too sure on ones such as the Canon Legria, which are £800, believe it or not, which is very, very pricey. But you can get budget cameras which are £150 upwards, which is a vast difference. Now, when you get your budget cameras, you often get two batteries. So the camera would use one, and you can utilize the other as a spare. However, the 4K cameras tend to have a battery life of an hour and 5 minutes. While it may not seem too bad for people, I think it's very appalling personally, given in mind that some cameras and some counterparts will probably last more than an hour, probably 2 or 3 hours. And also, when I went to Chatham in Kent a few months ago, or last year actually, I actually took over an hour and 10 minutes worth of footage, which again on a 4K camera will not only produce the problems said above, but will require a battery change. Now, you can again get around that because some cameras actually allow you to charge the camera while you are videoing. But I personally think it looks a bit silly with a lead dangling from the camera to your pocket when charging it from my power pack, because you can get power packs these days which are basically portable batteries which recharge your equipment. But again, I would rather bring my power pack to something like my Nintendo 3DS, which actually earns me more value and actually gives me more time for my money. 5 hours, which again I'd rather bring my power pack for something that lasts for 5 hours rather than something that lasts for an hour and 5 minutes. Now, you don't have to get a 4K camera, you can get a full HD camera, which I'll probably recommend you getting. But if you want to become a filmmaker, I would rather go out into the professional, make sure that my footage looks professional, rather than sticking to 720p or something of a low resolution.
Object.
Now let me show you how this video to photo app
Launcher.
works so you can
Launcher.
actually see for yourself.
Search your video. 40, 36. Menu. App info.
How to go about converting 4K files
Video. Advanced.
should they become unhandleable as said above.
Storage. Location. Notifications. More. Tools. Launcher. Search your video Panda compress and share. Old school. Cell. Media. Hot. Both. Soup. Android. Minu. MP5. Chrome. Google. Explore. Text. State. Google. Calculate. Settings. Web store.
Oh, I may need to cut the video and install the app because I don't think it went through. Alright, then I'll be back with you in a bit.
Window.
Alright then, I've managed to install the video to photo app. I think because I've signed out of my Google account on my Chromebook and in again quite a few times, I probably installed it on an old record as opposed to my current active Chromebook in the list, if you know what I mean. So I had to install it from the Play Store app rather than the Play Store website. But I'll probably do if I was installing an app remotely on another device. But anyway, I've got the app installed. I have also beforehand allowed the permission to the storage, so the app can actually detect any videos
Video.
on my device with the storage permission.
Video.
Now, because the app actually uses your video's resolution and not its own, video conversion will therefore depend on the size of video and will often take time
Video to photo.
as a result of your video's resolution. So anyway, we're going to see how long this 4K video takes to convert. And I'm actually going to convert the one I showed you because there's a lot going on, particularly with that bus and the hustle and bustle
Open.
of people.
Open.
You do get a lot of advertisement with this app, which is very annoying. But
Screencast nip. Salmon. 3.m. Des 3. 2.mp4. 0 out. 1. Samet. Selected. Gallery. Button.
I think I need to go into the gallery. I haven't used this app for a while, so
018, column 3. Press 017, column 2. 526, column. All media. 2039, all media. Unlabeled. All 07018, 18, 927, 44, 40, rows. 0, 120, 0, 6, 6, 1, 2, 0, 1.
The only thing about this app is it doesn't actually
5, 320, column 2. Video to capture of time.
It doesn't actually show you the video that you are focusing on from a screen reader aspect,
capture of time
and
interval.
Nor is there any sort option or any folder option, so you can define the directory that you want to
capture of time. Capture.
Generate photos from that video. So anyway, you got capture at time interval.
Capture of time image.
And capture at time image. So I'll click on the capture at time interval.
Unlabeled. Selected. Unlabeled.
Oh, okay. We've got one of an art gallery.
Save. But selected.
So anyway, let me show you how you can actually adjust the time.
15%.
So you can either
6% unlabeled 011 6% 0 hours 3 0%.
So you can either choose for
5%.
2 seconds or not too sure what the
0.5 seconds.
or
5%.
capture every 0.5
10%.
seconds
Capture every 1.0 seconds.
and capture every 1.0 seconds. I think that's what I would do. And then you
6%.
click on
0
save.
selected. Save time selected. Save. Save.
Now it will give you a
Capturing
progress
0 picture.
of the picture capturing or generation, and it will also give you the number of pictures that is being captured and the number of pictures that will be captured and produced in general.
Capturing 6200 pictures.
Now it is a little bit slow in comparison to when I have been capturing or generating pictures from a video of a low resolution. So again, you do need to take that into account if you are
Capturing 11 to. Please wait.
using a 4K video. Let's go out of there. So in conclusion, 4K videos, despite their amazing resolution and their quality, do have their problems, mainly to do with the file size, because again, if the 4K video is very big, the file size can mount up, meaning that the video file can become unhandleable. However, if you do end up in a situation like this, you can either use a video to photo app, which I would highly recommend as a first port of call, rather than a compression app. This means that you still get the value of your videos and actually the value of your product, rather than using a product which will cost money depending on what you get, and only having to compress the video because of the unhandleability of the videos, because again, you don't value the product and you don't value the videos. So again, if you want to value both your product and videos, use the video to photo app as your first port of call before compressing a video should you want to edit 4K videos. However, you don't necessarily have to compress the video, because I know there are a few 4K video editors out there, so we will be having a look at those editors, because as I said, I do want to become a filmmaker in the near future and therefore get a 4K camera. Now, in another video, not necessarily this video, because obviously this video has gone on for quite a long time and I don't want to overcrowd you. In another video, I'm going to show you how to do a 4K file conversion. So anyway, I hope you've found this video very helpful indeed. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos to come, and I will see you soon.